Uh, Hello everyone. I hope you guys can hear me. Uh, okay, I'll start my presentation with my brief introduction, and then I'll take you through what exactly product design is. So, hello and welcome to all the design lovers. My name is Hardik Gandhi, and I'm the course leader for product design at the Mumbai campus. A bit of about my background. I started my journey being a chief designer and a team leader at Gorge Ontario, which is in Mumbai, in 2005. Then I started my own design studio called Design Gandhi, where I was a founder and the creative head, where we were working on multidisciplinary projects, furniture, product, branding, spaces. And then in 2016, I joined Pearl as course leader for product design. So there are these three attributes which I'm pretty much passionate about, which is innovation, creativity, and education. So education is something which I really love, and after spending almost 10 to 11 years in the industry, I wanted to exchange some of these ideas about how designs are right from the conceptualization up to the launch, how this entire thing works. And I always enjoyed teaching right from my working days. So now I've taken up as a full-time job, and now I'm the course leader at Pearl. So I'll also give a little glimpse of what exactly I've done in this 11 years of my experience. So, like I said, it was a multidisciplinary studio. So, being a product designer, I was not focusing only on. I mean, within product design, also there are multiple categories, but I design consumer goods. There's the furniture. There's this lighting. There's the home furnishing, tableware. So these are the kind of things which I've designed in these 11 years. So while designing, I used to keep certain principles in mind, that what exactly a product design can do while designing any product or any furniture or anything like that. So if you see on the left hand side of the screen, the bottom left, it shows 5 different elements of design. So when I used to design, I used to keep in mind that a design should be, first and foremost, it should be practical, because ultimately it's a design which is going to be used by many people. So unless it's not practical or if it's not functional, I think then it becomes a piece of art. And being a designer, I think the biggest definition of design is it's not a piece of art. So something which is more useful for many people. It should have, the second point says it should be emotional. So when you see any design, there should be some sort of connect. So be it a chair or be it a furniture or be it any consumer good, when you purchase from the market, while purchasing, I think you should always feel that I can relate myself using this product in my day-to-day life, either at my home, at my office space, probably somewhere else. So there should be some sort of emotional connect. So being a product designer, I think that is also one of the most important part, that when you design something, we need to design something which has the emotional connect to it. Third point is metaphorical. Something which has a reference point. So, for example, if you look at the bottom left of the slide, you see one tree-shaped a bookshelf. So that is purely inspired, from the tree as a structure. But otherwise, it's a modular piece of furniture, which is, a kind of flat pack. And when you want to assemble it, it can be assembled in some half an hour, and then you can create a tree shape out of it. So the name itself says knowledge tree. So there's some sort of metaphor which is used to design this bookshelf. Fourth important point is, I think, experimental, because I feel if you don't experiment, you cannot innovate anything. So that is the first step. Being a product designer, I think it is very important for innovate things, and something which when you break the boundaries and try and find discover something new. And that is what is also one of the most fascinating step for any designers to break those boundaries and try and invent something new for the audiences. And for fifth point, which says beneficial, I think design should. I mean, one of the famous designer, he mentioned that good design is good business. So when you see any good design, be it automobile or be it consumer goods or be it, piece of furniture which is not one of its kind, but then when you see them in number, which is ideally the industrial design piece, which is used by many, and everybody is even the manufacturer, the entire ecosystem, the stakeholders, everyone's getting benefited by this beautiful design. And that is what I meant by beneficial, because when you design something, you keep certain target audience in mind, certain market in mind, certain context in mind. So being a designer, I think following these 5 points, which is practical, emotional, metaphorical, experimental, and beneficial. So these are some of these triggers or the key drivers when I was designing any of new product or furniture or anything like that. So what is design? I think everyone has their own definition of design, but what I define design as something which is where the art, purpose, and the beauty intersect. When you see any beautiful product which is part of your home or part of your office, something which is absolutely functional, something which is technology driven, something which is serving certain purposes, something which is well finished, something which is well packaged, something which is easy to use. These are the points when you wrap all of these in one, and something which becomes a very functional or the ideal design. That is how kind of define design as where the art, purpose, and the beauty intersect. So we're talking about product design today, and if I further break it down to what exactly the product design is. So like it says, product design is to be sold by any businesses to its customer. So what do you buy in the market when you go to purchase something, whether it's you go to the supermarket, and what you're surrounded with is, I would say, uh, everything is design and something which is more tangible, something which is going to be used in your day-to-day life. Or so in a very broad concept, it is essentially the efficient and the effective generation and development of ideas through the process that leads to new products. So when you design something, being a product designer, you always keep, like I said, certain processes in mind, certain materials in mind. And what we do at Pearl is, we have these pathways, which is part of product design. One is industrial design, then there's lifestyle accessories, and in future there'll be furniture design. So everything combined, and it becomes a product design. I would like to show you one clip which very well defines what exactly the industrial design is. So I'll take you to the the link of that. So, like you must have observed, or referred to some of the lines which said, the product design or the industrial design is something which is more efficient, something which is more accessible, and something which is more responsible. So, what does that mean? When I say efficient, of course, you need to keep the functionality in mind. When I say accessible, which is again, it should be user friendly, something which is seamless, something which is easy to use by everyone. And when it says responsible, so you also need to keep sustainability in mind when you use minimum product or minimum material to create maximum impact. So this is also, some of the very important key drivers when you design anything being a product designer. And of course, in today's time, when you talk about technology and material, it's growing rapidly. So nowadays, to make everyone's life easy and convenient, there's a lot of technology which has come in picture, and it's also been used in a most efficient way. And new material has been invented, based on the availability and the kind of resources which or the kind of the wood and the metal is some of these most easy to access material, but at the same time there's a lot of happening in the polymers like the plastics. So a lot of invention has been has happened in polymers market, and nowadays everyone in whether it's furniture, whether it's product accessories, a lot of people are using new technology when it comes to polymers or the plastic or injection molding material. So these are the some of these pointers. But when you are a product designer, what exactly they design and how they design, that is, I think, the main the purpose of this presentation. So being a serious designer, whether industrial designer or product designer, they follow certain process. And what are these processes? So if you can see these three pointers, which says define, derive, and delight. What exactly define is? So define is the phase when being a product designer, when you start any product, when you start designing any product, you have to do certain research about who's the behavior, who's the user, how he behaves, and what is the exact interface with the existing product. If not, and if you're redesigning or if you're designing something completely new, then you need to do certain research in that area. And these are first 3 points, which is user behavior, key insights, and once you analyze, or when you come with a conclusion, you need to find a relevant direction based on the research you've done. So if you, for example, if you want to design something for the urban market, which is typically Bombay, or all these are metro cities basically, their needs are to a certain extent different than what need is in the rural market. So you need to understand what is desired by them, what is needed by them based on their current lifestyle, and that is the kind of research you do. Then once you find the relevant direction, you need to come to the phase which says derive. So all the data which you collected based on your questionnaires and research and the analysis, we need to find out different requirements based on the material which you're going to use, or the kind of processes which you're going to carry forward, or the kind of tools which you're going to use for making. So for example, if I want to make anything out of let's say plastic, I need to first understand what are the different resources available for making anything out of plastic. So within polymer, I can use injection molding as one of the process. Or let's say if you want to design a chair or any furniture, there you probably use wood or metal. So within wood, what are different finishes, what are different processes, or what are different joineries I can use to make it more better. And then third phase, which says delight. So delight phase is mainly when it's more of a fine tuning phase where you detail out or refine your design to most finished stage, or something which is more presentable, something which is more usable, and at the prototyping stage. And then when you do one more survey based on the creation which you have, you probably go back to the user and or probably your stakeholders or your client and someone who wants to validate the design. So they can always ask for the feedback, and the kind of, you can always make a prototype at a phase where it's more more functional and someone can touch and feel, and then they can get the feedback. And then once everything is sorted, once you get a positive feedback, once the process is in place, once the material is probably finalized, you can launch the product, or you can introduce the product in the. So this is a typical process which you product designers use. So like I said, at Pearl, we kind of it is part of product design, but we have certain pathways, which is industrial design or of accessories, lifestyle accessories. So these are some of these items which we kind of take care of when it comes to product design. So which is furniture, accessories, packaging, tools, or toys, or lighting, or personal accessories. Um, but yeah, like I said, the product design is more hands-on, minds-on. So you need to understand the human interaction with the product. You need to have some sort of inspiration if you want to create something new and interesting, which is pretty much unknown to the market yet acceptable. And you need to being a product designer, you have the flexibility or the opportunity to use different materials, how differently or how interestingly you can use these materials and the manufacturing processes. So these are the certain your processes which you have to keep in mind while designing it. At the same time, when you're designing something which is for the in the furniture market, or something which is more to do with the human interface, you need to also consider the ergonomics in mind, because ergonomics that makes the product more comfortable, more usable. So again, understanding the market, doing the research in that area, then you ideate, and finally you create. So these are 4 easy steps to design any successful product. Uh, Being a product designer, I think it is important for him or her is to understand certain materials and different processes, because when you play with the material, when you disrupt something, it's always interesting, and you come up with a better solution for the society. And so in that case, when you say metal or wood or plastic, it is quite interesting to understand the properties of such material, or let's say for craft for that matter. Let's say if you are using bamboo as your key main material, you can always follow certain processes to make bamboo or any other craft material more interesting. At the same time, hardware, which is again used for assembling the material, or how do you make hardware more seamless in nature, that it doesn't look like something which is just kept together, but something which is more interesting, something which is more seamless, something which is more discrete. Uh, you also need to understand the processes, because process is something which leads to the the correct solution, and at the same time, what sort of machines and tools you use for that. And finishes is, I think, one of the most important element, because that is something which is used or which is applied to make product more appealing. So finishes is something which is one has to keep in mind. At the same time, where exactly a product is going to be used. So is it a furniture, or is it a product, or is it something which is more technology driven? So if you see product designers, they have it's more of an hands-on experience. They always try and make small models, something which is one can touch and feel, one can break and make and dismantle and detach and attach. So I think being a product designer, you have good opportunity to play with the materials and finishes. Right? And at Pearl, what we always try and focus on is these 4 aspects, uh, which is to inspire through professional practice and research. So what we usually do is when we teach product design, we always keep in mind that the kind of faculties we have, or the tutors, they also come from the industry background. So whatever knowledge they have, they always try and exchange their ideas, and how these entire process of right from the conceptualization till the launch, how this entire process works, and what are the different barriers you might face in future, and how do you solve those ideas, or probably a critical thinking. I think that is also one of the most important aspect of at Pearl, that we always try and ask what and why, and why you want to design just another chair or just another, or are you creating any difference, or are you always passionate towards bringing change through your design. So that is something which we always try and inculcate in our assignments. We also try and support students in developing a critical and socially relevant outcome. Uh, I would say that this is also one of the most important part, because when you uh, have when you talk about sustainability and eco-friendly materials and processes, we try and make sure that whatever solutions they come up with, which is most relevant solution, not from the assignment point of view, but at the same time, they can always propose something to either the industry, or they always try and fill the gap that these are the kind of products which is or the solutions which is needed in the current market based on the research and the analysis they do. We also try and offer knowledge and experience in participative processes, and some of these interdisciplinary methods and the operation and research based working. So at Pearl, what we always try and do is, since it's a multidisciplinary college where we have fashion design and communication design, interior architecture design, and many other design disciplines, we try and exchange our ideas, and we have these cross-disciplinary learning where probably product designers can get inspiration or get hands on the some of this textile based market from the fashion design, or some they can always try and learn certain communication design based techniques which is used for building their portfolios and making their presentation more appealing and more user friendly, at the same time more interactive. So these are the cross disciplinary learning, which is quite relevant, at the same time useful for Pearl product design students. We also provide relevant contacts in the field of design in order to support students and graduates in their endeavor to establish their career. Here what we try and do is, based on whatever network we have through different vendors and through different corporates and through different companies, we try and exchange, and we encourage or we inspire them to work around these areas where they can build their portfolio, which is pretty much relevant to their specific brand or the company they're applying for. So we train them in that direction so that they can build their CV and the projects in that which is quite suitable for these kind of brands. And we always train them that how we can build the work and integrate these kind of learning in their current assignments. So I'll take you through some of these projects which are done by Pearl students, product design students, which was like I said, it was part of furniture, it was part of packaging, consumer electronics, and so on. So this is quite interesting example which is a part of packaging design. So what we try and one of the students, what she did is she tried and combined two different brands and created a packaging which was, so the assignment which was built around these two different brands. When you marry two different brands, which is in this case, which was if the Hot Wheels, which is meant for, it's a toy brand which they sell the small cars for as a toy. And what if they come up with sunglasses for kids, how the packaging can be. So here the students, what she tried, she firstly studied both the brands or two different applications. One is definitely the Hot Wheels as a brand, and how she can come up with the packaging which is appealing to that segment. So if you study the Hot Wheels, most of the users are I guess around between 5 to 12 years kids, or 5 to 10 years kids. They like certain toys. So when we wanted to design, when she wanted to design something, she came with this playfulness as one of the element while designing. So she designed this collapsible or the twisted packaging, which can go in one and the other, and she can create these difference through this faceted surface, and then the sunglasses that it's more visible, and at the same time this packaging also can be rolled on a flatter surface. So that is how it becomes a little more appealing for this target audience. So I think there was a way, I would say this is a very smart idea or the solution for this segment, and something which is completely unknown, that no one can even think that if Hot Wheels wants to design something for the sunglasses, how the packaging could be. She also kept, we also, so when we were designing these assignments, we kept in mind that you need to select a product or the offering which is not there as part of their portfolio. So like I said, Hot Wheels is mainly into the toy cars, which, I mean, they usually don't sell sunglasses. So what if we try and fuse, which is one of the also opportunity for this brand to sell these kind of products. So that is how we try and fuse these two different brands, and she came up with this beautiful idea. And here they made everything in-house, where first we had some of these material exploration classes, and then we taught them how to play with different surfaces. So here she has taken these transparent sheets, and she's played with the origami as one of the construction methods, and that is how she came up with these beautiful solution. This is another example. I would say that this is, I think, purely driven by what you see as a need finding, or absolutely relevant solution for today's market. So this was one of the assignment where two students they studied these street hawkers, who usually sell these scarves and stools on streets, street vendor. Basically, they also into selling bells and these kind of items. So when they did the research, they found out that it's very difficult for the street vendor with their existing system. It's difficult to carry everything at the same time. And at the same time, it is also difficult for showcasing that product in a much efficient way. So how do you kind of solve these issue in terms of how to carry these heavy load of almost like 30 to 40 stores? At the same time, how do we make it more appealing, and at the same time, how do we make it more portable, so that it's efficient, it's easy to use, at the same time it serves a purpose, and eventually it helps the street vendor to increase the sale. So these students, they came up with these folding mechanism, where they found these cardboard structure, or Corex, as one of these corrugated sheet, which is polymer plastic corrugated sheet, which is easily available in the market, which is affordable, and at the same time it is lightweight, it is strong enough to hold the material, and pretty much mobile. So after all the multiple explorations, they came up with this beautiful solution, where they provided one sheet with two folds, where you can fold these. If you see the left hand side, they can fold these both the flaps and make it flat pack. At the same time, if they want to display these tools, you can open it, and then you can insert these tools in all the holes which is available over here on both the sides. And at the same time, as an additional activity, what they did is they also introduced a surface where they can hang these belts, because that is also, I think, very well acceptable in the market. Whenever someone buys stole, or especially ladies, when they buy these items, they also look for something which is matching in the same category. So they also provided hooks for belts, so that which was not there in the current scenario or current system. So that was, I think, a quite smart solution. And they also thought of providing some a small surface where they can hang this mirror, so that after trying these tools or the scarf or the belts, the customer, they can see themselves. She can see how the exact outfit, whether it goes with the outfit or not, and typically for the validation purpose. So providing folding unfolding solution at the same time, something which is easy to carry because it's a lightweight material, it is strong. This was, I think, one of the quite smart solutions for these kind of street vendors. Uh, this is something which is based on the existing product. So we also try and make them understand that what exactly how the existing product works when it comes to technology. So this was one of the example where we told students to you know break open these existing products. So in this case, it's a torch, which I think you must have seen it in your day-to-day life. So what we discovered is, this is how the entire torch is made. So you see the exploded version of torch where there are at least 10 to 15 different elements. They all come together and finally you see a torch, how it is assembled. So these are, and in this case, we also teach them how to use certain softwares because in today's time, I think softwares are the easy tool where you can give a shape to your ideas and the creation. And we teach them, typical these some of these most basic and most easy software, which is Rhinoceros and some 2D and 3D, AutoCAD, Rhinoceros, and these kind of softwares help them to visualize their ideas better. So these training, which is given in their regular assignments, where they learn how to model these products, the day-to-day products, and how do you visualize them in different surfaces, different materials, and how the entire thing is put together. Because for any product designers, it is important to understand that how it is made, because when you design something new, or let's say when you redesign something, you need to understand certain existing mechanisms and techniques which is used for building this entire product, and how you can eliminate certain things which is not needed and try and create something more interesting, more user friendly, something where you can eliminate certain materials and you can make it more efficient to use and make. So these are the kind of learnings which is, students, they always apply these learnings of softwares in their day-to-day assignments. This is also, quite smart option or the solution for the, packaging design, where one student who fused two different brands. So in this case, it was an hypothetical assignment, but then we always thought that this is also one of the opportunity for creating something new as an option in the market. So what if Motorola brand, something which is very much technology based, something which is very cutting edge, something which is very advanced, if they come up with any toy, let's say in this case it's a Batman, how the packaging would be. So if Motorola would like to sell Batman as a superhero in this figure, how they'll sell it in the market. So the student, they understood the brand ideology, what are the different color schemes, what are the different existing packaging they use. So there are certain findings, which is the Motorola packaging is more or less for these premium products. They are mostly in the black tone, something which is graphite tone, and they always try and make these packaging more angular, very sharp, very cutting edge, something which is very masculine for those premium products I'm talking about. So he came up with these ideas where these when you open the lid, all flaps they fall apart, and then that is how you see this Batman coming out from the packaging. So it was also kind of a very metaphorical, where he also thought of how the toy should be uh, presented to the audience. So that was, I think, a very pretty smart solution for it. Another an example of how this Disney, if they want to come up with any headphone packaging, how it would be. So this one of the students, she thought of Wally as a character, and she used her Wally's eyes as those earbuds, and when you want to listen to the music, you can remove these earpods from the eyes and you can plug it in. So again, how do we kind of connect the audience or the target user, or the someone who would like to buy this product from the market, and the kind of packaging or the color scheme and the emotional aspect which you build upon it and create something which is most relevant. So these are the kind of day-to-day assignments and the packaging or the solutions we always try and incorporate in our learning. So, being a product designer, so these are some of the examples which I just showed you about. If I can just go, one slide back. Being a product designer, what all different opportunities you have. So, or I would say that what all you can do being a product designer. So, like I said, product design is, if you look at the larger umbrella, it's part of industrial design, where you can create different kind of solutions in the areas of like product, consumer durables. It could be electric appliances, it could be furniture, it could be tableware, and these kind of areas you guys can work in. But at the same time, once you finish your studies, there are multiple opportunities, multiple areas where you can try and use your creativity, which is many times people go for the specialized course, which is so being a product designer, you are eligible for uh, doing specialization in either automobile design, or it could be specialization in user interface, or user experience design. You can also specialize in furniture, or you can always go for craft as one of the segment where you can explore a lot and make craft a little more interesting. So these are certain areas where you can go. So one option is going for a specialization. Another option is once you whatever projects you worked during this duration, and you build a portfolio, and then you can always apply for a full-time job. So where can you apply? So number one is the corporates, where a lot of these companies nowadays, they hire product designer for their especially in the design team, where they become the key driver, where they start with the research, they try and understand different markets, and they come up with the different creative solutions after designing, uh, after all the designs which you do. And at the same time, I've also seen a lot of students, or someone who can also go for the startups, because if they have certain concepts and the ideas which they think that it can be converted into a great solution to the market, they also start their own firm, which is funded, not necessarily always, but which can be also funded by different organization or people, and then they help them to make their ideas possible. So one is specialization in any of the course which they are interested in. Second is either they can work in corporate offices, or any design studios. And third option also could be they can always have their own practice, which is quite interesting nowadays. And I think India is also now, I would say, it's ready for uh, these kind of companies and studios, where they can see a lot of things which is made in India. So government is also kind of geared up for pushing these kind of, or encouraging these kind of designers to create something wonderful for the country and for the world. So what and how I would also like to run through different achievements these existing product design students they've achieved during their courses. Like at the students life also, we always encourage them to participate in different design competitions, so that they at least get to know that where exactly they stand and how do they perform. So these are some of these students who've uh, they were part of some of these interesting episodes, which was purely based on the design and the art. So a few students, they were part of these episode called The Creative Indians, where they, interacted with the artists and the designers, and then they were part of their research. They were part of their, the styling from different disciplines, and they came together and, they basically studied the entire, process. They lived with the designer for a day, and then they understood that how this entire process works. So we kind of exposed them to, different kind of disciplines and not just with their classroom projects. So basically giving them industry exposure, and then they get to learn a lot from these famous artists and the designers. Some of these designers, they also won, quite famous design competitions. This one being FOED, which is Festival of Architecture and Interior Designing, where these students, they designed some of this modular furniture. They won the second prize in this competition. Few students also, they gave their point of view in some of these press articles. So in this case, like at Pearl, we also encourage students to, learn different new updated technology. So we have this 3D printer and the laser cutting machine, and some of these technology which is used in their assignments, and they've also given their point of view and their understanding of how the entire technology works. So they were also given the opportunity to talk about it, and then some of these press articles where they mention their article where they talked about the entire 3D printing process. So processes, materials, and how do we kind of incorporate them in their assignments? These are the kind of push or the kind of learning they get during various assignments they work on. So thank you so much for attending this webinar, and I hope you liked it. And if you have any queries, I'm open for question and answers. So if you would like to ask any questions, you can probably type it, and then anybody, any questions they have? You can type in your questions, and I can answer it.
Okay. See, my question was that are you going to cover the automobile design aspect during your course also?
May I ask your name? Is it Deepak? No, is it? What's your name?
It is Bhavya Chauhan.
Okay, Bhavya Chauhan.
It's Bhavya Chauhan.
Yeah, hi Bhavya. Okay. Right now, we don't have automobile as a at Pearl, because automobiles require certain resources and certain technology in place. So, but like I said, when I explained during my presentation, when you finish your graduation, which is like 4 years undergrads, you can always do the specialization in automobiles, which is with. So there are certain colleges other than Pearl who offer automobiles. So NID is offering. There are other colleges around Bombay also they are offering. So there you can go for your post graduation as part of your being a product designer. You are eligible to apply for post graduation in automobiles. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, up to some extent. I have another question. See, I was just going through your website. I think your course is not approved by UGC. Is it possible after doing the graduation from Pearl I can join NID
Yeah,
post
it is.
graduation.
So yes, so from this year onwards, right now we are offering the IGNOU degree. So it is compulsory for all the new entrants. So being an IGNOU entrant, you get to appear for their exams, and once you clear their exams, you get the certificate, which is because of which you are eligible to apply for NID or IIT or any government institute. So yes, it is very much possible. So now it is, yeah. So did I answer your question as well about the UGC?
Yes, yes, you are.
So what I want to say is, yes, it is possible to, first you do your undergrads at Pearl, which is 4 years. You can go for your post graduation after finishing 4 years at Pearl, which is, so being undergrad, being a graduate, you get these certificate, which is, UGC affiliated, and then you can appear for any of these government institute for PhD. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody? Any question?
जब आपने मेरे को बोला मैंने मेरे हिस्से की बुक में अच्छी बात से जब वो बड़ी चीज सॉल्व तो हुई तो गेट बैक थिंकिंग उसमें बहुत आदमी कि उसमें से निकालो पूरे डॉक्यूमेंट में से अब वो बोल रही है कैसे निकालूं क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है मैं या तो मेरे वो करूँ मेरे साथ बैठो मैं बता देती हूँ कौन कौन सी सिलेक्ट करनी है
Anybody has any question regarding product design if they would like to know something about it?
Yeah, I got another question. I just
Yeah.
to check up what is your placement record after doing graduation.
Yeah. So are you you're Bhavya Chauhan, right?
Bhavya.
Okay. Yeah. So we have around 95% placement. When I'm talking about School of Design. So when you say School of Design, we have 4 different disciplines. One is product design, one is communication design, the other is interior design and styling, and the third is interior design and interior and architecture design.
Lot of disturbance. I'm sorry, just interrupting.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Lot of noise, background noise is coming. Can you put everybody into the mute when you are replying the question?
Yeah, I already did it. Can you hear me now?
Very good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's better, quite better, clear now.
Okay. So if I go by the placement record, the percentage is nearly 90% plus, because recently, if I give the figure, the Accenture company, which is very well known MNC, they hired nearly 8 to 9 designers from Pearl Academy. That includes product designers and the communication designer. So, like I said, being a product designer, I mean, you have the opportunity to work in the user experience and the user interaction as well, and that is what the Accenture is known for. So they also hired a Pearl product design student, and they are offering nearly 6.5 lakhs plus yearly package, which is great in today's time. So being a first job, I think getting offered 6.7 around 6.7 lakhs per year is it's a kind of wonderful opportunity for any freshly graduate student. So yeah. Did I answer your question? And yeah.
Yeah. So last year the placement record was that more than 90% people got posted after doing the graduation, and the average salary, if I am not wrong, average salary was 4.5. Am I correct?
So so this time if I see the latest figure which I give you, which is offered by Accenture, and that was around 6.5 something. So which is if you can see the margin, how the wonderful, I would say nearly 50% plus growth, you would say. And someone who's Accenture, there are many other companies like Accenture who's also offering but the figure which I gave you, which is on the higher side, but you can say that in today's time, if a freshly graduate student, they have the opportunity to get between 5 to 6 for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See
Yeah.
what the situation you are telling for the 2017. By the time
Yeah.
the new batch of 2021 comes,
Yeah.
it will be
So
inflation
yeah,
factors and the things
correct, correct.
must be higher.
Yeah,
Mm.
true. So the figure might go high as well. I mean, if you are, passing out, let's say in 2019 or 20, this figure will definitely go higher because there's a huge demand and people are looking for, good product designers. And one of the good part about product design is you can, once you know what you're good at, it's not necessary you can just do just product. I mean, if you feel that, you're good at furniture or if you're good at something which more technology driven products, you have better opportunity in all these areas. So that way it's pretty much flexible for product designers to acquire or excel in any of the fields which you're good at. Is there anybody I
What
can
you suggest if after doing the graduation, if we go
yeah.
for MBA, is that a good prospect of
Yeah, I think what I've observed is, like I said during my presentation, I've seen there's a lot of startups who starting their own design studio and they're doing some of these most amazing work. So if you're an MBA product plus MBA graduate plus a product design student, I think you have acquired knowledge in both the fields, which is from the business point of view as well as the design point of view. So it's always good for any product design student to go for higher studies in either management or someone who can where they can learn these management skills because that purely depends on their if they want to start their own. I think it's definitely going to be helpful.
okay. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
even if they are joining some corporate and if they have a design degree and they have a master degree in business, then always better, isn't it?
Yeah, 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 always. But I think then it can become, I would say, another 1 or 2 years course after the graduation. And I've seen that that's a trend. I've seen most of the graduates, they always go for higher studies because they always want to, specialize in one of the fields, whether it's management, whether it's, automobiles, or whether it's some sort of, manufacturing techniques or something which is more towards the technology or user interface. So the possibilities are immense, and I think it purely depends on what exactly you want to do in the in the field of product design. What I've done, I would say, I mean, I got graduated from NID in 2005, so I did my specialization in furniture design. Prior to that, I was interior design student. So what I felt was, being an interior design student, I always have a good scope when I, look at the micro aspect of interior design, which is nothing but the furniture, and I could, connect myself, and I wanted to, excel in that area where you can also focus on not just the space, but how this entire space can be visualized, you know, with the help of the furniture, which is, it could be residential, it could be commercial, it could be, public spaces. So that's how I, ended up doing my specialization in furniture design.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
See,
So
basically, I
yeah,
will tell you what
yeah,
happened. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
preparing for my engineering also, and parallelly,
Mm.
I'm appearing for the examination of this NID. I have appeared for NID also, NIFT
Okay.
also, and
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm planning to appear for the Pearl Academy. So
Okay.
I don't know, is it right? I'm putting my both the leg into
Okay.
boats. One is engineering, another is that, and my inclination is toward design. I feel I am
Okay.
good at design because
Okay.
when I appear for NID, I got some 62% marks, and even I
Mm-hmm.
had not studied even for a day, basically design point of view. So I thought that
Okay.
I have missed the NID, but certainly I would like to join Pearl.
So here we are offering in product design, we have only undergraduation. So if you're appearing for, I think you must be knowing that, right? We don't have post-graduation course at all for product design, neither at Noida nor in Mumbai. So are you aware of that?
I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, so are you planning to
I'm talking about we are plan. See, I'm studying in the 12th standard, so I'm preparing
Okay,
for JEE and other things. So
okay,
graduation I would like to do with either
okay,
NID, because NID I know this year has gone. I could not
yeah,
succeed there because I got some
mm,
62% and the cutoff was 66. So
okay,
another thing, just one please, very honest answer from you. I have appeared for NIFT also. So and
okay.
my NIFT paper was pretty good. So
Mm-hmm.
if I get selected in NIFT and PERL, so what are the plus and minus point? It's a
So,
difficult question for you to answer, but
no, I mean, see, I think, firstly, I need to know where exactly you're from. Uh, can you answer that? Where do you belong to?
it is difficult to say no problem, no problem, no problem. We can
No,
skip the
no,
question.
no,
No,
no. I can answer that. Don't worry. Can I ask you where you're from?
we're from Noida.
Oh, you're from Noida. Okay, so you have the opportunity to, join. So I would say that, whenever you appear or apply to any design school or any college for that matter, what exactly you evaluate as? First, you need to see who's teaching because when I appeared for my postgrads, I wanted to kind of understand from the faculty's point of view that what is their background and what is that good at and what's their experience in teaching. So that is the first thing which I kind of assessed. Secondly, I would also look at the point of view of resources, that what sort of resources the colleges providing. Because when you're appearing for product design, then you would like to see the lab and the teaching studios and what sort of curriculum they offer. So I found that Pearl. I mean, I'm talking about from Pearl's point of view. What I understood is, or what we always try offer is we give them the exposure. We have certain assignments which is industry based. We take them to different study trip and we try and tell them to study certain crafts. We have certain amazing resources. So when you talk about latest technology, we have 3D printers, we have uh, the laser cutting machines, or which always helps you build your own prototypes. We have some of these latest hand tools, and so from the faculty point of view, we have mostly these industry experts who's coming and teaching. We also have visiting faculties who's a practicing designer. They also come and they teach some of these design projects, plus the resources, plus Noida and Bombay, we have product design at these two different locations. So I would say from the resource or the context point of view also, I think Pearl is at a better position, I would say, because faculty's point of view or the resources or the contextual, we always have these hands-on experience on these kind of projects and the assignments we work on. So being a student, this is what you kind of look at, right? When you want to know that what exactly the college is offering. So these are the these are the things which we are, and plus Pearl is it's quite a pioneer when it comes to design education. It has, I would say, recently we won, a couple of awards which in the design education field, right from the interior design or from the fashion design, or we were also awarded, one of these best design schools in India. So whatever we offer, it usually, it's pretty much shown, and students are nicely placed. Most of them are placed, and they are earning, they are happy kind of learning they had during Pearl Academy, and that is what they're applying in the industry and or probably in their day-to-day, practice. So these are the kind of learning and the teaching we do that really, speaks for themselves. So yeah, then finally it's up to you. I mean, I'm not so
Yes.
much aware of how the NIFT education is, but these are the kind of and plus we also give them international exposure, which is pretty much we have certain affiliations with Domus Academy and some of these international colleges where we send students as a for the exchange program, and then they pursue certain courses over there, and then they come back. And so Pearl always help you to to give that employability we always make sure that the students the life at Pearl is quite experiential. So how do we make it by giving these kind of resources, even the interdisciplinary learning? So these are various factors where Pearl is completely unique in that sense, and it's pretty much seen in the market when we our alumni, the way they are progressing, our students, they are placed at different places. So yeah, these are the I would say highlights of Pearl. So after all, it's up to you how you want to take it forward from here.
Yeah, that is very
Yeah,
straightforward
yeah,
answer. Yeah, one
yeah,
last question was that do you in
yeah.
Pearl really help a student to prepare for joining the post graduation in design in foreign universities?
Yeah, so like I said, we have these exchange programs. So, like, once you finish your graduation, and obviously we always help students to build their portfolio and CV, because when you apply outside India, that is what they actually evaluate and assess. So our assignments, our presentation skills, our teaching methods, they're always helpful for students to make one of the best portfolios in India, and then that is how they appear for different universities outside India. So yeah, and we have these different Pearl is part of Laureate Group, and they have universities across the globe. So recently we have affiliated with the Torrens University, which is based in Australia. So now we also have you know other than UK and European countries, we also have possibilities to study further either in Australia or some of these other continents.
Okay,
So
that's all
does that
from
answer?
my
Yeah.
side. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Bhavya. Yeah, thanks. Uh, I can also see Jaya Kumar is also on the line. If I may ask you, have any questions regarding product design or how it is taught and what all we offer? Anybody, any question regarding product design or how it is taught at Pearl? Anybody, any question? Yeah, I think the session is over. So how do I stop this? So I clicked on the play button, so I paused it. So that means it stopped, right? Where's yeah. This session is being recorded. So if I'm clicking on it, nothing is happening. Uh, it says if you don't want to be recorded, mute yourself. You may also leave the session. So if I'm clicking, this is the message which appears. So Deepak is also just left. Earlier his name was showing. Now he's not there. Yeah. Okay, and I'm guessing it's because there was this Q&A also happened, so that is also over. So close from that cross button. Yeah, you're here only. Which one? Uh, can you so that you can see my screen? How do I search it? Uh, it says any day, any disk. Hmm. Okay. Download any disk. Okay, it says 1 second. Okay, it says run. Then 926 354 728. And what do I need to do? Yeah, I say accept. Okay. Now? Yeah, you can. I can see now. You can see on the right. That's what I was talking about. Okay, I'll cut the phone. Yeah, thanks.
हो गया ना
Yeah, there was Q&A. See, one guy is from